Sam here. Welcome back to another episode of the Arsenal Career Mode series. Last episode, guys, we headed into the January transfer window with a bit of uncertainty revolving around a lot of players that haven't signed new contracts due to the fact that we only have about, no money at all. And I also just got an email from Hector Bellerin who wants to discuss wages in this time that I'm trying to sign everybody onto new contracts. And there's like 10 of them, and then he wants more wages, and I have no money to do all of this. So we're looking to loan out a few players. I've got a lot of players out on short loans, like a lot of these players just to go for the rest of the season and we can earn some money. There's a lot of them, so hopefully it's like casting a huge net and hoping to catch at least a couple fish, you know what I mean? So we're hopefully trying to get some players to go on loans, and we'll be focusing a lot on the January transfer window, at least the first half of the window this episode, and I'll be simming a few games. Today I think I'm going to do just one game. I'm going to play just one game because I want to see if I can get some loan deals. My mind is in transfer mode at the moment. It's not in game mode, so I'm going to be simulating a few games. Starting off with this game against Southampton away at St. Mary's. Joel Campbell is injured at the moment, so we're going to pull a big on Oxlade-Chamberlain for him, but we're going to get into this game against Southampton. If you do enjoy this episode, make sure you smash a like on the video. 120 likes would be absolutely brilliant. And I'm trying to keep this series as consistent as possible, uploading every other day. And I think I've been doing pretty well, actually, considering my schedule. I've actually been doing quite well. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the episodes. And if you are, make sure you leave a like, because it does mean a lot to me. Without further ado, let's get into this game, simulating against Southampton. I actually decided to play Anwar El Ghazi in this game, to keep Chamberlain on the bench as an option. Graziano Pelle has missed a penalty, and Benzema has put his chance away to punish Southampton. Cedric got a yellow card heading into half-time. We're looking good. I'd even take a draw at St. Mary's. Not an easy place to go, but Southampton seem to be struggling this season in the actual career mode. Benzema picks up his second goal. I think they're like last or second last, so they've been struggling. So 2-0 here, I'll take that. I even take a 2-1, but a clean sheet is good. Continuing that aura of the best defensive team. We're continuing that reputation with a clean sheet here against Southampton. So very, very good. 2-0, Benzema brace. That's pretty decent, actually. Okay, we have an offer for Carl Jenkinson to move to Aston Villa. I'm accepting that in a heartbeat. I'm not even going to negotiate with Aston Villa. I'm going to just accept that and hopefully... Oh, shut up, Francis. Right, we have an offer for Maitland-Niles to join Southampton on a short-term loan, the team that we just beat. And although Maitland-Niles has been one of our better younger players in the second-string team, I have to, in the position that I'm in, I have to let him go on a short-term loan. And you never know, playing for Southampton, he'll probably be getting a lot of game time. I'm sorry, Maitland-Niles, I love you, but you're going to have to go out on loan for now, man. Okay, with that 60,000 that we got from Maitland-Niles' loan deal, I'm going to go ahead and get Kieran Gibbs to potentially sign a new contract as a squad rotational player. A 50,000 euro increase on his wages. My goodness, Kieran. But that's one more player that we could potentially be getting on the books. Okay, the second game of today's episode is an Emirates FA Cup game against Newport County. And this should be a win here. We're going to play our rest squad. Minus Maitland-Niles because he's just gone out on loan. So we've got El Ghazi and Fekir and Verde as our front three against Newport at home. If we don't win, I'll fire every single person in this squad. I swear to God I will. Every single person on that team sheet will be fired if we don't win. Magalhães picked up a yellow card in the first minute. That's pretty reckless. But Wilshere puts us up 1-0. Fantastic stuff from Jack Wilshere. The FA Cup is something that I do want to progress far in because I think it's one of our better chances of winning silverware along with the Premier League. So we go 2-0 up thanks to Mesut Ozil who's come off the bench, even though he wasn't feeling up to it as he let me know before the game. So 2-0 here. Wilshere and Ozil score and we go through in the FA Cup. Right, as you can see, Carl Jenkinson has been sold to Aston Villa with 3.6 million euro coming in. And we also have transfer offers for Joe Davis and Danny Welbeck, neither of which I'm willing to sell right now despite our financial problems. Okay, the next player that I'm going to be getting onto the books is Aaron Ramsey. I'm going to be signing him onto a 3-year deal as well. Thanks to Carl Jenkinson's sale, we have a lot, so we could potentially get 2 players here in one shot. And Aaron Ramsey, I'm just going to give him the important first-team player, so he signs. And actually, the other player that I'm going to be signing on is not a player that needs to get signed on because he still has 2 years, but a player that I want to keep happy and a player that is unhappy at the moment. That's Hector Bellerin. I'm going to give him a 40k increase in his wages and bump him up to an important first-team player because he is. And even though it's not a necessity to sign him, I don't want him getting unhappy and then wanting to leave the club. So he's asked for an increase in wages, and I'm going to give it to him because I think think he deserves it. Okay, the first game that we're going to play of today's episode, and the only game that we're going to play in today's episode, is this away game against Manchester City. We actually played them last episode, if you remember, at the Emirates, and it ended 1-1. And today I'm hoping to get my retribution against Manchester City, as they are in 4th position and we are in 1st. And as I've said, it's very tight at the top. I said it at the end of last episode, 3 points separating 1st and 4th, and it's 4 points separating 1st and 5th, and we don't want to be dropping points right now. If we lose, potentially City could be at the top, so we don't want to shift the top 4 right now. We're happy with how the top 4 is, with Spurs underneath us, so let's keep it that way. We're undefeated in the league still, and it's Manchester City away. Last episode I said the game against Manchester City at home was the biggest game of the season. Well, guess what? This is now the biggest game of our season so far. So without further ado, let's get to the Etihad. But first, let's take a look at the lineup. Okay, this is the lineup that we're going into this game against Manchester City. Last time we dominated them with a 4-2-3-1, like absolutely wiped the floor with them. They had 1 shot, 1 on target, and they happened to score it. But that is the lineup. It's a pretty strong lineup. Welbeck up top on his own has been working for us whenever we've used it, so we're just going to roll with it. 4-2-3-1 worked wonders last time, and hopefully this time we can do the same without conceding a stupid goal as soon as we score. So it's Manchester City, it's Arsenal, it's at the Etihad this time, and this time we're going to get 3 points because we deserved it last time. Conor Plyanka now on the left-hand side, hoping to terrorize Pablo Zabaleta. I can't believe Zabaleta's even thinking about keeping up with him. He's going to cross that in. It's a low cross, and Welbeck was there, but company dealt with it well. Verratti plays that long ball to Oxlade-Chamberlain, who's got plenty of room, plenty of space. I'm not sure where the left back is, but it's found Mesut Ozil. Ozil threads it through to Oxlade-Chamberlain. What are you doing, Ox? What have you just done, Chamberlain? Oh, mate, you got to stay calm there. That is a pass into the net, mate. That is not... Oh, Chamberlain. Nabil trying to make his way down the middle of the park. He's got Fabian Delph. He's just completely done. Fabian Delph finds Danny Welbeck, who lays it off to Verratti. Verratti hits the post off of a decent effort. Falls to Pjanic. Pjanic to Verratti. Verratti to Fekir. What's Nabil doing? Oh, he's fucking ripped you. Joe with a save. Danny tucks it in. But mate, Nabil Fekir just absolutely fucking ripped the Manchester City defense. Welbeck, right place, right time. Poacher's instinct after what I can only describe as a fucking amazing save from Joe Hart. I don't know how he saved it. Fekir, watch him. Just absolutely fucking killed that defense, mate. They were statues. They were statues when Fekir made that move. And I thought it was going in, so I sort of lost focus. And I didn't realize it fell to Danny Welbeck, so I quickly pressed the shoot button, and he's tucked it away. He's celebrating with Fekir because Fekir made that goal. And I've brought him on for Ozil, by the way, Fekir. So he's playing an attacking mid-roll, and he's just done him. He's just completely done the defense. Nabil, your legend. Bellerin finds Chamberlain. He's got a lot of space here. Clichy's trying to catch him. I'm not sure he can in time. Sends in to Welbeck, who's at the far post, and it doesn't work out. And I hope Welbeck's not actually injured there. Right, it seems Danny Welbeck did get injured in that leap of faith to try and get that ball. So we're going to bring on Karim Benzema in the last, I think, yeah, about half an hour. So I hope he's not out for too long. He's been performing so well. And there it is, full time, 1-0 here at the Etihad in a very tight game. It got very close at the end. Man City pouring the men forward. And I thought maybe they'd bring one back, but they couldn't. And it's funny because I felt like this game they deserved a draw. More than they did last game that we played. But this game, they didn't get the draw. As you can see, 5 shots, 2 on target for us with 42% possession to Manchester City's 4 shots, 1 on target, 58% possession. As I said, they played better in this game than they did in last game, but they didn't get anything in this game. See how it just doesn't make sense sometimes? They still only had 1 shot on target as they did last time, and they weren't able to convert it. I think Petr Cech did well to just keep him out. I think the defense did well. I think we played well in general, so 1-0 win here at the Etihad. That's not an easy thing to do, to win at the Etihad, so I'm very proud of the boys today. I think everybody played well. I think Fekir off the bench was just absolutely insane. He just played so well, especially when he has so much energy and so much pace, and no one else does. He's dynamite, mate. He's dynamite off the bench. I love him. Alright, Danny Welbeck's injury is only a 9-day injury, which is, it's not too bad, but I think he misses out on maybe 1 or 2 games in January, because it's a pretty tight schedule, so it could be a lot worse than that. Okay, we have a short-term loan deal for Jack Wilshere, who's unhappy anyway, and that is huge going to Newcastle United, getting us above 200,000 now to use on our contract. So Jack Wilshere, have fun for the rest of the season at Newcastle United. Hopefully you get the game time that you think you deserve. Right, with that money, we're going to try and get Joel Campbell to sign a new contract. He's not signing the 180, so I'm going to give him 200. And we're going to give him the important first team player as well. Hopefully that means he signs. And taking a look at the rest of the list, I don't know who's the next most important, but we're going to go to El Ghazi. And we're going to try and get him. He only wants 20k, so we could potentially 120k. So we still have 80,000 left to use for players that want to sign new contracts. So let's try and get Ospina. I think we'll try and get Ospina on a contract here because I like having him as a backup. And if he wants to leave, I'd rather get some money for him. And then we'll give Callum Chambers the 10k increase as well. And I think that's actually a lot of the important players done. Which is a freaking just a big sigh of relief if all these players accept the contracts. Okay, we do have a game against Nottingham Forest in the league. It's a home game, which I'm going to be simulating because we also played them last episode. So it looks like the fixtures just got like mirrored. So whoever you play last, you play first in the second time. So I'm putting out the full strength team because there's no reason not to. I think our next game might be a cup game, I think, or if it's a league game, doesn't really matter too much. I want to confirm our win here, and this squad should be doing it with ease as Mesut Ozil opens up the goal scoring. Of course, Danny Welbeck is injured, and they seem to have put Chuba Akpom on the bench, which is interesting. Even though we already had Fekir, they didn't really have to waste Chuba Akpom. But Joel Campbell gets on the score sheet as well right after halftime, 2-0, and this should be a comfortable win. If we could keep the clean sheet, that'd be very good because we have actually not conceded in a while. And Nottingham Forest, of course, had to score, but we do go ahead and win 3-1. I can't believe we conceded to Nottingham Forest. Right, we have a transfer offer for Daniel Landonio. Now, this guy, initially, I wanted to loan, but at the moment, it looks like I'm going to have to sell him. And even, I'm not too disappointed, man. We have Gaia and Gibbs. This guy's not getting a whiff into the first team. 3.4. I'm not going to really negotiate because I don't think it matters too much. We're just going to let him go, and hopefully, he'll just leave. Okay, we have offer for Serge Gnabry to leave to join Everton on a short-term loan, which we'll accept. Hopefully he'll get some game time there as well. I'm not sure if he will, actually, to be honest, at Everton. 76 rated, maybe he will. But we're just going to let him go anyway. Alright, that is the end of today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. I think a pretty successful episode. We've got everybody signing on a new contract. No one can leave on a free transfer now, which is a big sigh of relief to just have that done. It looked like it would have been a lot worse. I thought maybe Ozil would leave. I thought maybe Ramsey would leave, you know, players like that. But they didn't. We were able to loan a few players, sell a few players, and get the wages to get those contracts done. And also, as far as games, we did really well today. We won all 3 games, Sim 2, and we drew 1. And I believe we also had a cup game against Newport, which we won. So very, very successful episode. We are in second position, but only because Spurs have played their game. Our next game is against Chelsea at home, which will be very interesting. That happens in the next episode, so if you're excited for that, and if you want to see that, make sure you smash a like on the video. 120 likes would be absolutely crazy if you guys could do that for me. That's it for today's episode, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I'll see you in the next one very soon. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one very soon. Keep it real.